Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here, and today we're going to be going over the meta-analysis on Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega this time again. The last one I did was at the start of the very format, a week after the ban list dropped, so now we've had time for players to adjust to the ban list and actually play what they want to play. And I had to say, all of the decks on the last one have shifted hugely, and all of that. But before I get into it, I want to do a huge shout out to Hakuna Matata for using one of my pie charts that I made for the Remote Duel YCS. If you guys don't remember, I did a video on that covering all the events and all of the decks overall for the overview. Now, let's get into it and let's see how much this format has changed so far. First off, we're going to be looking at the top decks of the format. Of course, I've pulled all the decks that there are, which is the top 15 decks. Now, for them, I did pair your Sky Striker decks and Phantom Knights together because they're also the Destroyer, Phoenix, and Enforcer variants of the decks that's running the Fusion Destiny. So it looks like Floowandereeze are still on top at over 18,000 deck times played. Up next, we have Sword Soul Tenny. Then we have Sky Striker and DP Sky Striker. We also have Virtual World, Different Dimension Demons, or DD. Then we have Phantom Knights and the DPE Phantom Knights. Then we have Prank Kids, Dragon Link, Eldritch Heroes. Spellcaster is a one that I really don't know much about, that I'm asking questions in the Discord to see what actually it is, and I'll have an update on that in the description. Then after that, we have Evil Twin, Live Twin, the whole Kiss-a-Kill Leela deck, and finally add Ignisters. Overall, there are more than 8,000 lists that were pulled from their data, and I would have to say this is a huge chunk compared to what we had last time, which is a big comparison overall. Now, on Omega, it is completely different from things like Dueling Book and Edo Pro for data, and I would have to say this is quite unique because we get to see a different side of the game that no one really covers, but yet people 100% play, and I've faced up against every single deck that there is. But overall, I'm happy to see that this meta is very diverse, and I know quite a bit of the decks are running the Adventurer engine. Decks like Virtual World, Phantom Knight, Prank Kids, Dragon Link, Eldritch even is running it. But I cannot wait to see how this format evolves, as I'll be making another update around the time when the Albaz Strike Structure comes out to see what people are playing then. Next up, we have hand traps and staples that you find in main decks and extra decks of every deck that you face against. Now, last time we had almost 9,000 different total games that were played with the amount of copies, and this time we have almost 111,000 different copies per deck for the cards. So we have tons of data on this, and overall, this is very different from what it was last time. As we could see on the pie chart, Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs has actually toppled a lot of the staples because it used to be the second place and the first place used to be Harpy's Feather Duster. Now we have Artifact Lancia, Harpy's Feather Duster, Called by the Grave, and Cosmic Cyclone in the top 5 slots of the decks. Next up after that, we have Infinite Impermanence, Nibiru the Primal Being, Evenly Matched, Droll Lockbird, Forbidden Droplet, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Red Reboot, Lightning Storm, Dark Ruling No More, and Fusion Destiny. Now, overall, this has hugely shifted from the last one, as the top 5 previously was Harpy's Feather Duster, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Artifact Lancia, Cosmic Cyclone, and Infinite Impermanence. As we see, Infinite Impermanence has dropped, but all the rest have gone up. Even Call by the Grave is seeing more play, even though it's at 1. A few of the new entries that we have on here, there's not really much, but it's really Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit that's here. Now, the cards that really didn't change places were Nibiru, Evenly Matched, Droll and Lockbird, Forbidden Droplet, and everything from Red Reboot to Fusion Destiny. The only card getting knocked out was Terraforming, because I think multiple people are cutting it, while Ghost Ogre is gaining more and more popularity, so probably by April, it would be in the top 6 spots. But that's one thing we're going to have to wait on and see what happens. Overall, the hand traps and staples pretty much stay the same, which is very very good for a format like this, because this format is heavily used on effects that activate on the field, which is what Ghost Ogre is good against. But we'll see in the next month to see all the changes that's going to happen then. Now, after that, we have the extra deck staples that we have. This has changed quite a bit from the last time, as we have gotten we got one less character, or a couple less characters on this banner. Now, the top three are pretty much the same, being Access Code Talker, Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus, and Verte Anaconda. Last time there was around a good 8,000, 9,000, or not even that, like 7,000 entries, but now we have 44,000 entries. And as we can see, this is the top 8 extra deck monsters that people are playing, being Access Code Talker, Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus, Predaplant, Verte Anaconda, Nightmare Unicorn, Destiny Hero Destroyer, Phoenix Enforcer, Elder Entity Natis, Brone DeFleur, Crystron Halka-Fibrex, and Link Spider. Now, overall, with how much utility there is in the extra deck, we are seeing more people play these extra deck cards over others, depending on the deck that you play and what else there is. When I was looking at the list, I didn't see Nightmare Phoenix anymore. I didn't see Downer Magician at all. Those are the two that aren't on here, and this is just not 8 different extra deck monsters. And we're in this weird triad format where you have 2 very powerful board wipes, which is Access Code and Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus. Then you have Verte and Nightmare Unicorn to get out spot removal. The spot removal being Destroyer, Phoenix Enforcer, and Nightmare Unicorn is just a free spot removal. Natis is still being played because Drytron is a very, very powerful deck. Brone, Halka-Fibrex, and Link Spider are all in one because they're all played in very similar decks. Now, overall, the last time that we saw the top 3, they were only about 100 to 50 apart. Now they're more of 200 to 250 different times played apart, and this is kind of alarming because these are the 3 best extra deck monsters that there are, and they're just going to get even better after another amount of time post April format. But let's get into the last of the charts, because I only have one more for you guys right now. Now for the final part of the breakdown, we have the win-loss rate and the type of decks that are being played in this format. As we could see from last one that we did and this one, the win percentage and loss percentage has flipped. It used to be a 50.4% for loss and a 49.6%. Now we have a 50.8% for win and 49.2% for loss, which is actually a very good thing, because having almost near a split 50-50 win-loss ratio is very great, as the format balances it out over time. And then we have the type of decks that we have, which is combo control, mid-range, and beatdown. Beatdown is not really existent in the top 15 decks or 13 decks in this whole entire situation. Mid-range, you have things like your Spellcaster deck, which I'm not too sure what it is. You have Sky Striker, Destiny Hero, and Sky Striker, so you have those 2 variants. You also have Sword Soul Tenyi. Then you have your control decks like Flunderies and Elblich, and you have your combo decks like your Virtual World, Dark Contract, DDD, Phantom Knights, Prank Kids, and Heroes. But overall, this format has definitely switched to something interesting and very diverse. But I want to know your guys' opinions on this format. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Most importantly, all data we see from Dueling Book, Omega, or anywhere else is really different, because you don't get to see the different side of things here and there. But if you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button down below, and if you want to see more content, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. I'm going to be doing one of these next, as I stated earlier, after the Albaz Strike Structure deck comes out for the TCG, which is April 15th or April 12th, one of the two. But I cannot wait to see what that brings to the table for the next metagame update. But anyways, see you guys in the next video. Tell me what you like and dislike about this format down in the comments. But anyways, goodbye.